Hey lovelies, or welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about So Gucci calling out Carlos King for making her feel unprotected and the parallels of that to Melody Cherie and how she claims at the time, remember the event that she had where she talks about not feeling protected and Carlos King was not here for it. It is showing a pattern in the way that Carlos King treats these people who are his talents. There is an obvious and blatant disregard for the law, in my opinion. Like, especially when there are things in place, we already know about no contact order between So Gucci and Selena. But Carlos King did not let that stop them from filming and monetizing the situation, which I understand from a producer perspective. You want to monetize the situation. However, you have to make your cast feel protected, in my opinion. And I want to talk about it all in a second. If you're new to this channel, you're welcome. I do commentary on reality TV shows and celebrity news. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications because I be posting. Yeah. Also, everyone, please like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Now, let's get into today's video. So, as you guys would know, or some of you may know, during the recap of the show, Carlos King and So Gucci sort of got into it a little bit. So Gucci called him out for how she felt. She felt unprotected. She felt like there was a no contact. Oh my goodness, I can't even say the word. No contact order with Selena, but the producers basically snuck around. She didn't know, and they had Selena filming. She also said like she didn't feel protected. She almost felt in a way that they were trying to set her up with Selena, and she did not like it. To be honest, Carlos King didn't even let her finish. He interrupted and was like, well, you knew she was coming back. She was coming on the show. When in fact, allegedly, she did not know about it. And the way it was portrayed made it seem like she did. The way she actually found out was when she realized that they were filming via social media. And here's my thing. As a producer, in my opinion, you are not meant to blindside your cast mates, especially when there is a no contact order in place. I understand if there is no contact order in place, like, so there are no court orders of any sort, and you're just like, okay, I need the element of surprise to bring this person in and shift the dynamic of things. I completely get and understand that. However, when there is a court order in place, there is an added responsibility to uphold the court order. So you cannot just allow them to be in the same space without at least informing them, giving them some heads up. I know there's a no contact order in place. However, just to let you know, this person is filming. Simple. That is enough of a heads up so that she knows, like, okay, if there are general events, I don't have to go. Or maybe she can genuinely communicate if there is somewhere that she needs to be, please ensure that I'm not there. That, I think, is enough. But I feel like it's starting to give that they are dropping the ball intentionally to either break the no contact order or they just don't care. All they care about is ratings, and however they can get the ratings, even if it means forcing people who are not legally meant to be in the same room together into the same room together. That's what they're doing. It gives like either a reckless abandon or no regard whatsoever. It's like you are just reckless or you genuinely don't have any regard for the law. I don't know which it is, but whatever the case may be, it is not good enough. And I feel like there's so many parallels when you think about Melody Cherie and all she has been through with Carlos King. I'm sure she has gone through a lot more than we know, in my opinion, that we have not seen. But from what we see, we've seen enough, in my opinion, to know that Carlos King is starting to show a pattern. We'll also talk about Monique in a second, but it's starting to show a pattern where people feel like you're either selling them a dream and not complying, not living up to that dream that you're selling them, or in this case, you're leaving them feeling unprotected. Let's be clear, Martell has I mustn't say that word on YouTube, has caused a lot of trouble for Melody on the show. He's constantly harassing her, constantly trying to be in her face, constantly getting other people to harass her, in my opinion. Yet, he continues to be on the show. I feel like if not that there has been so much outcry and outrage about things, I feel like they would have probably still continued to let Melody and Martell film together. Despite the fact that every scene that they filmed together in a while has ended up in some sort of altercation. That shows producers, in my opinion, that do not care about whether or not you feel protected or not. They just want the views, they just want the ratings, they just want the scene, whatever it takes. I understand business. I'm a businesswoman. I get it. But at the same time, at what expense? Not at the expense of the well-being of your talent. Because if your talent is all good, then the way they engage would be good. It will come through in the show. But if they are constantly stressed, not feeling protected, it is not going to reflect well on the show in the long term. Yes, you might get some sensationalism from them fighting people, but over time, that is going to get exhausting. The viewers are not going to be able to continue watching something that is that toxic. There has to be a balance, and you will lose the balance that is needed on the show. I already feel with Love and Marriage Huntsville, they've already lost that balance on the show. I don't watch bellecollective, so you guys will have to let me know if you feel like there is a balance on the show or is it just very toxic in the comment section below. Now, I will say that he tried to shut So Gucci up in that, but then So Gucci had an interview with Millie Chan. Shout out to her. She was basically clarifying that she does not get paid enough. Carlos did not reach out to her after the whole thing. There was a moment of silence. He didn't say anything to her. I was like, oh my God. I personally feel like he is trying to cut her off. I will not be surprised if somehow she does not come back on the next season of bellecollective. I personally don't think Carlos likes women that stand up to him, so I don't think he's going to like that in any way. I feel like So Gucci also had time to like clean it up a little bit. Like she wasn't trying to call out Carlos King, but she was just trying to express how she genuinely felt. I feel like that's probably the same thing Melody was doing on that podcast. But then think about how everything else has become. Every cast member coming for Melody at all cost. I feel like it's either if he leaves her on the show, it's going to be very much everyone attacking her in the next season of bellecollective. I do like that So Gucci was aware that in choosing to speak up and say how she felt, she knows that he may end up editing the last parts and she may be penalized for actually talking about her opinions, and there may be some repercussions there. I do think she is very correct in that sense that I do not see Carlos just taking it and for there not to be repercussions. I think there will be some. Now, what they are going to be, no one knows. But I think there will be some repercussions for her speaking her mind. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I feel like the way Carlos King is going, like if we think about Monique as well, right? Monique Samuels talked about how she was expecting something, she was pitched something. This is what Carlos King said to her about, this is what it's going to look like. However, she did a lot of work, even in terms of her being the talent and also producing that, only to end up being villainized in the season. And it was edited a certain way without context, and it just made her look horrible. And I feel like that is another person. I know her situation is slightly different from these ladies. However, I do think that there's some parallels in the sense that with Monique's story and Melody's story about wanting Black excellence being displayed in Alabama, and what we now see is far from Black excellence with all of the convictions, well, actually, I better clarify that, with all of the arrests and one conviction of Martell Holt, which is being appealed. Just because I know some of people want to come and then try and correct me, I better be very clear on that. I do think that let's also think about Malaysia. Remember when, was it Bold and Bougie or whatever it was called, came out, or before it came out? It was portrayed as it was going to be about Malaysia, sort of following Malaysia's life and doing all of that. But when you watch the show, you realize it is nothing about Malaysia. Malaysia is probably not even seen as much as other people are seen. So it's like, I'm sure Malaysia was sold a dream. And who knows, that is probably not what she thought it would be. Now, this is just my speculation. Because coming from saying it's almost like, yeah, I was going to be following and being around Malaysia and all of that, to then watching the show and it seems nothing about Malaysia. It's always like, it's almost like, even where was Malaysia even seen in the scenes? Like, it felt more of like a girls show, just girls hanging out, as opposed to like a show centered around Malaysia. But if you guys watch the show, let me know what you think. I just say that to say, it is looking like these women, at least So Gucci and Melody, may be able to claim or potentially even sue and basically claim that they were creating a hostile work environment for them. I feel like if he continues to behave and act in this way, in my opinion, he may end up with some lawsuits in the future in relation to these issues. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all your notifications so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.